The accent wall. Holding the power to drastically change the vibe of an entire room, giving depth, excitement, and character. A design led by some of the modernist architecture greats like Legorreta and Le Corbusier, who used color to highlight architectural details. So, who created the accent wall, and where did it come from? And why do I have so many in my house? Let's talk about it on Use What You Got. So my wife and I have actually been making accent walls now for about 8 years. And in that time, we've made this one, and this one, and this one. Oh, and this one too. Well, as well as this one. This was actually the first one we made in our previous home, and now we're in the process of making another one. But before we get into the history of the accent wall, I think we need to ask what constitutes as an accent wall. When I was doing research for this video, I found that the term wall coverings usually came up and not accent walls. And if there was anything about the accent wall, it was a DIY channel similar to mine showing how to create a specific one. So what I'm saying is there doesn't really seem to be a lot of history on the accent wall, but I don't give up that easily. So I kept digging because over the last few years I have become fascinated by them, and it's been amazing to see what other people have created in the last few decades. Let's look at what an accent wall actually is. An accent wall or feature wall is an interior wall whose design differs from that of the other walls in the room. The accent wall's color can simply be a different shade of the color of the other walls, or have a different design in terms of color and material. Accent walls are typically intended to break up the pattern created by the other walls, especially when the walls are painted a single flat tone. The cool thing about accent walls is that they can be as simple as a splash of color on one of the walls, or they can be much more complex with a geometric pattern, a 3D shape, or a design that may go beyond what the average person would think. Let's go back to the beginning when the accent wall first came on the scene. During the colonial era, dwellings lacked elegance, comfort, and aesthetics. This is because early immigrants focused on their daily needs more than comforts in order to live. Their houses were simple structures that could be built quickly with materials that were readily available. The development of interiors during the colonial period homes started from a simple open-plan, single space, and it wasn't until over a century later that homes became more personalized, making interiors more comfortable to live in. The earliest homes had a single all-purpose room with a large fireplace for heating and cooking. These are the structural developments in the 17th and 18th centuries. 1650 to 1675, one all-purpose room homes. 1675 to 1700, they began to build two-room homes. 1700 to 1750, salt box homes. These homes commonly used wooden salt containers from the colonial period. They were built with a long, pitched roof that sloped down toward the back. 1750 to 1775, four-room homes. Toward the end of the 17th century, a second room became the whole family's bedroom, and the two-story home design evolved. However, their interiors remained simple and functional, though a bit more spacious than it was at the beginning of the century. In the early 18th century, the rise of wealthy individuals led to some form of sophistication in the interiors and the arrangement of all furniture and prized possessions. Classical architectural styles and forms of the English became reflected in colonial America. These new styles were introduced by Inigo Jones and Sir Christopher Wren. Immigrants arriving from England brought books focused on creative and decorative arts, building, and architecture. As a result, royal governors and other members of the rich wanted to convert their houses into works of art that would represent the grandeur of their social class and position. And it was around this time that we started to see the first introduction to decorative accents on walls. Wainscoting. Wainscoting is derived from the Middle Low German word Wagenskat, which means wallboard, as well as Wagenschatten, a Dutch word for a wooden wall covering. It was a decorative embellishment meant for entryways, hallways, dining rooms, and more. It was meant to break up the visual monotony in the home of that time, but it was also to protect the walls. So one thing I do need to mention is wallpaper. There's evidence that it actually showed up as early as the 16th century, but because the subject is so dense, I would really have to make a separate video about it. Wallpaper was first created as a cheaper alternative to the common panelings and tapestries that adorned palaces in Europe. The wall coverings were hand-printed with carved wood blocks, and more ornate designs were introduced over the years. The earliest known form of wallpaper was believed to be from England in 1509. The term eclecticism became well known in the 20th century, but dates all the way back to around 1870 toward the end of the Victorian era. It is a mixed bag of styles from different art periods. It was comprised of a non-rigid style of decor and architecture that doesn't conform to any particular period or era. Instead, the eclectic style is a creative approach that combines several concepts and aesthetics to provide a fresh approach to interior design and decor. It's basically a kind of mixed style in the fine arts, the borrowing of a variety of styles from different sources and combining them to create a new style and artistic effect that was imitative without being creative. The eclectic trend was evident in the smaller New York homes, and because little thought was given to creating a particular period decor, anything that looked beautiful, exquisite, and European was desired. People didn't hesitate to have a mix of period styles used in the same interior space. An eclectic accent wall served as a focal point, like a wall filled with framed pictures or black and white images. The 20th century is a noteworthy era in design history, representing a significant turning point. The major economic and technical advances, architecture and design, and of course, the impending war all had a significant influence on society. Art Nouveau came on the scene and was referred to as new and modern. The style encompassed architecture, interior design, furniture, ceramics, textiles, and jewelry. Due to industrial advances and the growing wealth, in particular in the middle classes, home appliances such as stoves, washing machines, televisions, and telephones became increasingly common and called for new challenges. Designers now had to plan spaces not only for aesthetic reasons, but also for functionality. But when World War I started, Art Nouveau came to an abrupt end. Once the war ended, it kick-started the Roaring '20s, which introduced Art Deco. Along with the modern shapes came modern materials, such as steel, glass, and chrome. Walls often featured geometric patterns or metallic finishes, and mirrored walls were popular. The mid-century modern period is a stylish salute to post-World War II utility, confidence from the 1950s, earthiness from the 1960s, and tones and textures from the 1970s with an elegant tribute to Scandinavian simplicity. Transitional style refers to a mix of traditional and modern furnishings, fabrications, and decorative features that lend you more freedom when looking to decorate your home with ease, as there's no end to the direction you can take the design style. The postmodernism style emerged as a reaction to what individuals perceived as the modernist boring designs. One of its main figures was an Italian architect and designer, Ettore Sossas, with his signature playful shapes, abstract prints, and powerful color stories. Contemporary interior is an approach to decorating that ensures the interior design remains intact while still seeming timeless. While modern decor may be gloomy, restrictive, and overly minimal, contemporary design is peaceful and laid back, with an emphasis on architectural aspects, artistic details, and a minimal color palette to create a warm space with effortless elegance. It seems like the 21st century starts to blur these designs together. Today, you can see all different types of accent walls that are reminiscent of the last 300 years. Some of the most popular accent walls today include rustic texture, wood paneling, a mural, two-tone, three-tone colors, geometric shapes, brick, stone, tile, a photo or painting, plates or ceramic, photo collage, wainscoting, and wallpaper. To fit the last 300 years or so of design into one video is probably near impossible. But it seems like the possibility of combining these different designs to create an accent wall are truly endless. When it comes down to it, an accent wall can highlight a distinctive architectural aspect, an exciting feature, or it can just be a way to unify your visual style. So to close this video out, I'd like to share some of the coolest accent walls I've found around the internet. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing.